Can I have some
shoutcasts? Generals, gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm coming at you with something very different. Red Alert 3. I'm PwnageMachine, and I do a series of fantastic shoutcasts called The Generals, Gentlemen, which, going by the name, you can probably work out is a series for Command & Conquer generals. And now that I've been to shoutcasting, I figured that I would go back to my dear, good, lovely friend, Red Alert 3. So today we have a match between TerryBogart as Soviets and Lictor as the Allied, playing on industrial strength. Both players are going for a double barracks build. There's going to be a lot of bears, a lot of conscript fighting the map here. Dog's going for the engineer, conscript's getting stunned. He's going to need to defend that engineer because it's really exposed. More conscript come to gun down the dogs, killing some of them, but just kidding, because the stuns are being landed, and there goes the engineer stun. The engineer is going to fall now, and that's going to be a huge setback, losing not only the engineer, but now all of these conscripts. It's going to give Lictor such a huge map control advantage, especially now that peacekeepers are running out on the map. They can take all these garrisons, which can be really difficult for Soviets to actually attack garrisons, because Molotov cocktails kind of get pooped on by peacekeepers, because peacekeepers are good and conscripts are not. Okay, so nothing fancy so far, 2 refineries from each players, but there's going to be a huge peacekeeper push against these conscripts. Just kidding, because they go for the garrison, actually. Cocktail's going into that building. He's denying that garrison, but he's doing the smart thing. He's backing off. He doesn't want to lose any peacekeepers that he doesn't have to, so he's trying to split up, take all these garrisons, defend that oil there. So the engineer is actually sneaking this oil here. Soviet does have the oil, but it doesn't look like he can hold it because there's a huge amount of peacekeepers coming. They're going to get that building, they're going to poop on that oil derrick, but the conscripts are coming, but I don't think they can do anything against that many peacekeepers. Peacekeepers are just such a superior early conflict. That's why you need bears and peacekeepers. So there's a huge push on the side here as well. That engineer's almost going to get caught. Nope, it manages to get away. They have the same movement speed, so it runs away, runs a marathon. Yeah, peacekeepers are just getting gunned down by these peacekeeper garrisons. There's just that many in there that it won't have any effect. They weren't even throwing cocktails. That was silly. So 2 refineries down from each players. A factory has gone down. Not sure yet from Allied. Probably an airfield. There we go. An airfield against a factory. Not too rare to see. So here comes the Sickle now. The Sickle's going to actually push out against some peacekeepers, really get the map control that he really needs, especially because, you know, he's behind an oil. So the Sickle is landing, going to take down some peacekeepers with the bear stuns. There we go, beautiful stuns there. Now those peacekeepers are going to stand no chance. He needs to shield them. No, he's not shielding them, otherwise they would have just survived any of that bear. Here comes a Gyrocopter. Uh-oh, that's going to be very dangerous. Gyrocopter against, what, 1 bullfrog? He can probably catch some engineers out. The Sickle's going to get frozen. Oh, wow, okay, there goes the Sickle jump there, very nice, dodging that Gyrocopter, got stunned otherwise. He needs to get a Vindicator, though. He can't kill anything without a Vindicator. So a 3rd refinery going from the Soviet player now, so he's definitely gonna have to hold that, otherwise he will just fall behind against the oil as well as the aggression and just all of the losses he's had throughout this entire conflict. So he's going to spam some bullfrogs because he really needs to defend against those Vindicators. Ow, here comes a Vindicator now. It is freezing one of the bullfrogs. Bullfrog did go down because it was frozen. When they're frozen, they have less health. Normally Vindicators can't one-shot them, but in this case they could because of the freeze. So here comes a terror drone. I don't know what he's going to do. Probably try and go around the water here and actually try and snare or just lock into that oil refinery. But because he's wounded, it's going to take him ages. They move this low in the way. Here comes another Vindicator Gyrocopter now. Going to try and defend back way into his base from reinforcements. He realizes it's a good idea. You don't want to follow them balls deep into their base because they probably have more bullfrogs waiting. He didn't know that they didn't. Okay, so he's going for another sweep. Now he's going to try and take out something. The bullfrogs are gunning down the Vindicator. The Vindicator runs away. The Shrink does go down. Will he be able to finish off that shrunken bullfrog? They're so fast, though. You normally can't kill them. And the Vindicator does go down. Uh-oh, the Gyrocopter has to get out of there because they're just taking damage. Get out of there, Gyrocopter. Okay, there we go. That was very good positioning there by the bullfrog, trying to really avoid and dodge those Vindicators. Oh, the terror drone got in. Ouch, he needs to bring that to the airfield and get that repaired. Here we go, shrinking it for the increase in movement speed. Absolutely fantastic play there. So he's got tier 2 now, so 3. Wow, tier 3, I think. It was something, because he already has tier 2. The Sickle now is going to Vindicators. So we have a pretty big force of bullfrogs coming out to the middle now. I'm not sure what they're going to do. okay, just chill there. Fair enough. Do what you got to do. So the MCV is going back now into his base. Not sure why, but he's building another barracks now. He's ready to probably build some more conscript and fight over this map control. He really needs to get this map control because peacekeepers in buildings, they're just so strong at denying movement, like especially against bullfrogs, but also against things like sickles. Just having them, you know, gunned down as you try and move somewhere can actually really set you back, especially if they end up getting javelin troopers as well as the peacekeepers. So I definitely like to see the Soviet try and take back some of these garrisons and really get a foothold in the map. 2 gyrocopters now for Allied, definitely going to be a very huge harassment, but he doesn't actually have any form of army other than just infantry, so if the Soviet could push really hard, he might not be able to defend it, but the thing is he can't push hard because of all these garrisons that are really giving him scouting, giving him defending. So here comes 2 gyrocopters and a Vindicator, going to try and harass something, probably going to take out some hammer tanks or bullfrogs, whatever exposure, whatever he can. Oh, just kidding, because here comes the harassment for a harvester. He's going to freeze a harvester. He's running away into the bullfrogs. Bullfrogs are coming to defend. They fly away, evacuating away. They don't want to get caught by those bullfrogs because they are quite fragile against 4 bullfrogs. They'll drop so fast if they're out of position. So he's messing up hammer tanks, bullfrogs, conscript, good composition. He's trying to hold the supply, but the gyrocopters are flying around. He's just really trying to keep him in his base. Vindicators are split up from the gyrocopters, though that could go ugly because he can't actually kill anything. I don't know why he's doing that. Oh, scouting, awesome. Good work there trying to get the bears on the edge for the scouting. He can see now, like, you know, a huge section of the map will actually open it. Yeah, now we can see all this. Going back to the battle here, hammer tanks are pushing out, gonna run away into the middle of the map, probably try and contest this 3rd refinery here. But there's so many javelin troopers in these buildings, they can really wreak some damage on those hammer tanks. The gyrocopters are freezing, shrinking the hammer tanks, trying to keep them at bay so they can be sniped by Vindicators. Here we go, 3 Vindicators. That's a huge air army. At this stage, he needs to probably get some MiGs. MiGs would be fantastic against this kind of air, because there's no Apollos or anything. Gyrocopters are going in trying to shrink down some bullfrogs. Bullfrogs are getting caught, but he does manage to dodge the smaller ones, but funnily enough, one of the big one dies. But that was a good exchange, because it means that the gyrocopter's gonna die. Wow. Oh wow, he just managed to save that by freezing the other one. When they get frozen, they lose so much damage that usually would have destroyed those gyrocopters. But now the hammer tanks are pushing against these barracks. There's so many javelins, but they are actually dying to conscript. So here comes now some Vindicators going to drop on some hammer tanks because there's no bullfrogs left. It can keep sniping away at these hammer tanks, especially when they're frozen. It only takes 1 Vindicator to kill a hammer tank when they're frozen. So it's very cost-efficient trading they're doing. He's losing his power though. He really needs to defend this. Oh, he can lose a huge section of his base. I'd like to see some assault destroyers. But where's his command center? There it is. Yeah, because assault destroyers are fantastic against hammer tanks, but it has to be, you know, very protective of Tesla troopers and terror drones. Losing the airfield now, has to defend his airfield. If that goes down, then goes all the Vindicators, and that will probably take him out of the game. So he really has to defend that. But with these gyrocopters, shrinking them down so they do no damage, it's going to be saved really easily. So that was an interesting push. It definitely gave him map control. Look, all of these garrisons are cleared now, so he does have this really strong foothold, which is fantastic if he can keep that. But the problem is now that he's actually expanded to the water. So now he's on 4 base against 3. So he needs to do something scary. Here comes a flak blade drop. That's definitely what I meant by something scary. He answered my prayers. So let's see what he does with this now. He might try and drop in this base, probably there, because that is a lot more further away from the airfield than over here. So what are they going to do? Here comes a twin blade. I would like to see more MiGs though. I'm surprised he hasn't got any MiGs, because you can avoid the javelins pretty easy, a lot easier than you know, losing stuff to Vindicators. Okay, so here comes the drop now, dropping in nothing. He's just going to use the weapons instead. Yeah, here comes the drop, I think. Okay, that one's more flak blades. My mistake. That's going to be a drop. And I don't even know. Here we go. Yeah, flak blades here. So that's a really good positioning to do, because then he can drop the flak bombs on the Vindicators if they're actually landed. Went fantastic. The airfield's go down now, so that's going to be a really awesome blow against Allied not having his airfield. He can't rearm his Vindicators. He's losing 2 of his harvesters. That's going to be really scary, actually selling off one of his refineries. So that's definitely going to put him back in the game now. Otherwise, he would have just fallen out, scaled out of the game. You know, the twin blades are getting vet. Heroic twin blade, that's a very scary thing to see. He might get some Apollos now. Apollos against those twin blades would be a good thing to do. But he does have, what they called hydrofoils. They're very strong, but obviously they're only restricted to being in the water. So unless he just kind of tries to base out and get a huge like tech advantage in the water, then the hydrofoils will actually be fine. But if he wants to push out against and gets his old base back, then he will need some Apollos, because IFEs aren't very good. Okay, so what is he doing? No battle labs going down, so he's just kind of chilling at Tech 2. He's comfortable there, just trying to get a big air advantage by the looks of it, but it's going to be hard to contest against 2 airfields. And here comes an Apollo now. Apollo is not going to stand up against 2 MiGs, but they're going to get shot down by some, what are they called? Multi-gunners. I almost called them Patriots. I'm so used to generals. Yeah, it's got such a good defensive position with multi-gunners, with hydrofoils and, you know, the repair thingies that can repair stuff. So he's going to have a really good spot to defend. He's probably going to need to get some, you know, Tech 3, like get some Kirov airships would be fantastic at taking down this base, because he can't get dreadnoughts, because dreadnoughts will be disabled by the hydrofoil secondary. So here comes an air push now, pushing outside the map, probably going to harass these oil water expansions. Good thing to do, might take out the oil as well. He really needs to fight, because he's losing the map now, so he's actually getting behind in economy. So 4 Apollos are going to destroy pretty much all of his air force. He's going to need to get a lot of... That's doing. Don't lose the heroic twin blade, no! Ah, damn, you make sure you keep your vetted stuff alive. I don't know, he doesn't have much, does he? He doesn't have many bullfrogs. All he has is these MiGs, which won't... Well, 1 MiG, which won't go against... Yeah. More bullfrogs, man. Okay, so he's going to be losing all that to gyrocopters, shrinking, freezing, all that kind of jazz. The command center might get sniped, actually. He needs to set that up so he can, like... Wait. So he can... I think it has more health when it's set up. I think. I'm actually not sure. Force-fired his own Apollo. Weird. But he actually managed to keep that alive. I'm not sure what happened to the Vindicators. They must have been out of bombs or something. Yeah. Okay, so he has lost... Oh, he didn't even lose the base. Yeah, he has his refinery still there. So he's still... It's still pretty even at this stage. I'm not going to really be able to tell who's in front. I'd probably say Allied, though, just because they have this huge air force and air superiority advantage, which is a really big thing in Red Alert 3, you know, compared to stuff like CNC3 and Generals, where air force isn't really that much of a big deal. It's generally a lot more ground focused. So he's going to have more twin blade harass. He's going to try and take down these refineries, but all these Polos are going to come in and just poop on everything. I mean, he has bullfrogs, but not enough against all these twin blades, gyrocopters, trying to dodge them now. But he just can't dodge them. He's just that too many of them. He dodged that one because when they're shrunken, they move so fast that they can actually dodge bombs. As bullfrogs not managing to take out anything really. Yeah, that was a really bad exchange for Soviet, but he's going to desolate bomb that actually. If he can take out his harvesters, it'll be worth it, but I don't think he will. Oh, cryo shot, taking out both the flak troopers. That was a very important thing to do, because now they can't flak bomb the command center. Such a small army, it's just going to get shot down. Yeah, look, there we go. Not managing to take down any Vindicators, losing the everything. I've got to turn Facebook off. Whoopsie, I do that every cast, just leave it on and people beat up at me. How dare you, I'm going to yell at you for talking to me in the middle of the game. More flak, I don't know where he came from. But yeah, barracks now, I think this is definitely going downhill for Allied, the Soviet, because he has just the air advantage, and he keeps kind of losing his army by sending it in small parts at a time, rather than kind of grouping it up. So it is still, though, it's 4 base against 5, so, and the oil, so it's actually pretty even in terms of economy, but because of this military advantage, military advantage is going to be very favoured on the Allied. So let's see if he can pull anything up his sleeve. There's still no battle lab, so there's no Tech 3, but he doesn't really need Tech 3, he just needs a poop load of bullfrogs. Yeah, okay, so here comes another push from the Air Force now, going to probably take down more bullfrogs, take down some harvesters hopefully. Being scared off by 1 bullfrog, no, loses a Vindicator, not even, because it's heroic. Wow, actually getting the sell off in time, wow, well done. Moving that into the, what's it called, Crusher Crane in order to get the money back. Yeah, he's just sniping down all these, because they're heroic, they can actually one-shot a bullfrog, so that's so scary when you see heroic Vindicators. Yeah, my bad for not knowing half the units. Bullfrogs, this is really depressing now, even a Vet 2 Bullfrog can actually manage to take down a Bullfrog. Here comes, oh, a cooler sub, I missed that, whoopsie. Wow, okay, that was awesome. The hydrofoils can disable the cooler, but only when it's actually up in the air, not when it's submerged. Oh no, losing all your Apollos. That's a terrible thing to happen. You don't want to lose your Apollos. What happened there? Oh, wow, okay, that's a lot of gyrocopters. I'm missing a lot in this game. But yeah, so a poop load of Gyrocopters and no Apollos, so maybe if he can use this time to suddenly get a huge MiG force and take down all this stuff, but it probably will be very fast to rebuild his Apollos, so that many Gyrocopters can just take down refineries in such a short time, because with one Gyrocopter it takes ages, but that many Gyrocopters is going to lose a lot of stuff against that many. That's a very scary thing to see, is a huge army of Gyrocopters, because they're so tanky, it's really hard to kill them, because they just have so much health, you know, and they're pretty fast. But he did manage to lose both of his refineries. That's going to be a huge setback now that he's actually, well, one base ahead because he lost the other one. So he needs to spam flak cannons. Yes. Yes, that is the thing you should be doing, is just spamming flak cannons. Well done. I'm actually not sure if he should be going for a lot of bullfrogs or a lot of Apollo. What are they called? MiGs. I'd probably go for bullfrogs just because they're a lot easier to keep alive. You don't have to worry about javelins or multi-gunners taking them down so easily. But I definitely, he needs to get a whole bunch of anti-air, and I'm sure he realizes that. It's not a very complicated decision, is to see lots of air units and build lots of anti-air. So Koko's going to take down this oil now. That's been there for way too long. He definitely should have killed that a lot earlier, because it's been ticking away, giving him 15 oil money a second. So good to see that go down now, because that was keeping him in the game. Cry shot now. Ouch. Going to take out the power. If that power goes down, oh no, and the refinery as well. The hydrofoil is going to disable some bullfrogs maybe, so there's going to be a huge push against all these Gyrocopters, but that many Gyrocopters is freezing all of them in seconds. They do manage to lose some, but it was not worth it because he lost all of these bullfrogs, especially a heroic one. A cooler trying to take down some hydrofoils, but not enough. Is keeping, oh no, he didn't actually kill the refinery. Because he didn't have any Vindicators, they probably died. But with its Riptide now, he can actually use that Riptide to snipe down those frozen buildings. So I guess he lost a lot, but it was worth it, because otherwise he would have lost all of his stuff here. Massing up lots of infantry now. Infantry and aircraft. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Mirage tanks, because they're pretty fantastic against bullfrogs because of that splash damage that they actually do. But he's tier 3. So he's still going with the theme of the aircraft. A lot of aircraft. Actually, I think this might be falling into the Soviets' hands now. He has 5 bases running against Allied. I think it all just turned around as soon as he lost those Apollos, and that was a huge blow that he could actually kind of push back against. So, oh, here we go, tanks. I love tanks. Tanks are good. Guardian tanks having that beam, so they do double damage. So you can, if you micro it correctly, it means that you can kind of switch between the beam on hammer tanks. So the Vindicators will one shot do double damage. So it's pretty awesome to see really fantastic use of the Guardian tank secondary. It's pretty much the only reason why I played Allies, is because I really enjoy microing that Guardian tank secondary. So there's going to be a huge push from Allied here. He really needs to land a really Gosu Anthrax bomb. That's going to take out all of those, but I'm sure he's paying attention, probably aware of how vulnerable that army is. It's pretty easy to actually dodge and avoid, because there's like a huge 5-second delay or something against when you see the smoke, and then when actually the Badger bombers come and drop their payload. But it's possible he can kill that. If he loses that infantry army, then these Gyrocopters will die in seconds to all these bullfrogs. So it's going to be very important to see how they actually micro this battle. The command center is really exposed. He can lose that very easily if he manages to catch that. He's going to have to defend that command center construction yard. Oh, silly me, playing too much generals. No, he's not even tested. He realizes it's so exposed. He's getting the cell to get his money back. Here comes a Vet 3 Riptide. Gonna probably lose against a cooler sub though. So huge standoff between his armies. They're probably pooping themselves over actually confronting their armies, because it can go either way if they're not paying attention. Oh no, I missed that. The hell was that? That was probably a satellite drop. He managed to actually evacuate the Vindicators in time though, avoiding losses. Good work there by Allied dodging that satellite bomb thingy. So he's trying to funnel them, trying to force them into this choke point. That's a very good thing to do, because then you can run them over hammer tanks really easily. Here comes the Crocodiles now shrinking. Absolutely everything's being shrunk, but there's such a huge cry shot freezing everything. He really has to split apart the army. That's a devastating blow there. Oh, getting the stuns on the Bears. The Bears are stunning all his infantry. Come on, Badger Bomb, take down those infantry. They're stunned. But the hammer tanks, everything is frozen. Everything is just doing absolutely nothing because it's frozen. So the hammer tanks are trying to crush some units. Oh, not keeping alive with the grinder treads. Chesical is trying to snipe down some infantry. But there's that many of them. They can't take them all down. The Crocodile is taking down the Testicle coil. Yeah, no, it's over. This is obviously game. That was so well done, that battle there. It was fantastic to see. Yeah, game over, GG. Well, that was a change of pace from Generals. In Generals, it's a lot smaller scale. You don't see 50 million Peacekeepers against 50 million Bears. It's a lot smaller scale tanks. But yeah, that game, that was really good to see, because that last battle was actually awesome, because with all of those gyrocopters, he could just freeze every loser and his 9 friends. So everything was frozen, so the hammer tanks couldn't crush the infantry, the bullfrogs just couldn't damage down those gyrocopters. So the freezing was really good to see, and then, you know, landing the stuns on the bears. I don't know why he didn't do Badger Bomb, Gamma, what's it called? Poison Bomb, you know what I mean? Probably didn't have it. He probably vowed for that satellite drop instead to try and take down those airfields. But I mean, even like rank 1 Badger Bomb can take out, you know, that huge army if it's stunned. But I think it just came down to the fact that his army was that much bigger, and, you know, especially with that Cry shot, that was such a strong thing, because it really meant he had to split up his army to avoid losing it all, and that splitting it up, that kind of meant he had a chance to get gunned down. So, fantastic play by Lictor, but, you know, shout out to both of them for a really good game. But from the beginning, Soviet was just really behind, losing that map control. He lost air superiority, but definitely, he had, you know, he nearly came back at one stage. If you look at the graph, he nearly came back, but no, unfortunately, those Cryocopter Micro, keeping them alive, choosing his engagements really wisely. So, very good play there by Lictor. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this change of pace going to Red Alert 3. If, you know, you like my shoutcasting, check out my Command & Conquer General 0-hour shoutcasts. They're pretty good. I do them with a friend of mine. There's 2 of us. He's not shoutcasting this game because he doesn't play Red Alert 3. He has no idea what to say. Yeah, so I'll probably do some more Red Alert 3 games, because Red Alert 3 is an awesome game. It's very exciting to cast, actually. Okay, I'm PwnageMachine. Hope you've enjoyed it. Goodbye.